when you're doing this sort of planning stage, and you've definitely done it for that first box there, you've really thought about, well, I'm going to have an orchestra playing a jovial tune. I'm going to have the idea of a gaming room. So you've got really specific examples. Then when we get to imagery, you've just got description. Yeah. So in the planning stage, just make sure you
characters appear.
Yeah, so description of the interactive program's appearance. But what is that description? And how are you going to describe it? Can you think of any images that you might want to use? So you've been very specific in that first box. Second box, not as specific. So just make sure in your planning stage, you're really thinking, right, I want to use description of the interactive program's appearance. But what description is that going to be? Can I think of a really vivid verb I want to use, or a metaphor or a simile that I want to use? And even here as well, at this stage, you could even be thinking about it for your next three. Yeah, so the preferred method of talking, again, I love that you've thought about what you're going to, what technique you're using, but try and be specific. And you may have done that later on. Okay, so we'll see if you've done that when you've answered the questions. Can you think of a nice rhetorical question? Can you think of, what you're going to use for that tricolon? Can you think of those three parts you're going to use? I do love your choice of techniques, though. You've chosen some really good techniques. Okay, so again, stylistic device, examples. Okay, well, what examples? So just when you're planning, try and be as specific as you can. And you started brilliantly with your antithesis and allegory. And again, here, it does allow the reader to understand the context of the story. But what is his backstory? Make sure you're very clear of what his backstory is before you even start to write. Okay. And here, what is the effectiveness? So you're going to show this glimpse. So what you're doing here is fantastic. You're telling me exactly where you're going to go, but you're not giving me the actual details of what you're going to say. So what is his backstory? What is the effectiveness? How effective is it? What is the overall message of the monologue? Yeah, so before you actually start writing the monologue, I want these questions answered. You're not quite ready to actually write the monologue yet.
Work out the backstory first.
Yeah, definitely. So you want to be in the mind of Otto before you even put pen to paper to write that monologue.